Hey everyone, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. I have everything set up to walk you through my process for starting and working on an abstract painting. From mark making, what tools to use, what paints to use, and basically how to get started. I had a question about that on one of my videos and I'm just in the frame of mind to get painting. So I'm going to show you what art supplies I use and how I begin and work through an abstract painting, and I hope you join me. Grab whatever art supplies you have, like paper, canvas, it doesn't matter, paints. We are going to have so much fun. Let's get started. When it comes to creating abstract paintings, I like to have a few things on hand. Number one thing that I have on hand is gesso. It's just really nice chalky texture, and I like the way it works with the paintings. And I'm sorry, my floor is squeaky, but we're gonna get through it. So gesso, any kind. I use Liquitex Basics gesso. I have a whole bunch of different kinds, but I highly recommend it, especially when you're doing abstract artwork or any artwork on canvas, really. And then I have a whole selection of paints. I just chose my favorite colors, whatever colors I felt like working with today. I have a pencil, any pencil will do, and then I have these grease markers that I really like. Where are they? I found my red one. I have a black one, but it's at the very bottom and I'm gonna have to dig through to find it. But just a couple, like you can use colored pencils just for mark making. I have a variety of different size paintbrushes. I like thicker bristles, and just this one I probably won't use. But a variety of different paintbrushes. These are very old, but I love using them. And you can use the back of old paintbrushes for mark making as well. So we're going to use that. A little bit of water is good. I'm using water soluble crayons. These are water soluble crayons that I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. But that's pretty much all you need. And if you don't have gesso, if you don't have any on hand, just use some white paint. White paint works as well, because this is just for fun and we're just practicing and having a good time. So pick any colors you have. And now we're going, I use parchment paper. You can use wax paper to put my paints on. I like that as my palette because I can get rid of it very easy at the end rather than having a lot of cleanup, even though my tabletop is glass, which is great for acrylic painting because you can scrape it right off. I've got an audience. Where is she? There's one. And there's my other audience. Oh, there we go. I've got an audience. It's funny. My other cat used to join me all the time in my videos, and he's laying in the sun having a good time, but she's gonna wanna jump on my abstract paint. Okay, so we are going to jump in and get started. Here's a couple of ideas to get a painting started. China marker, grease pencil, whatever you wanna call it. I love these. But you can just do some general mark making. I also like water soluble crayon. You can just create different shapes. You can also just use paint. So once you've done making a few marks on your blank canvas, you can grab either white paint or gesso. If you're painting canvas and you have gesso, that's probably the best to prep your canvas. It's a really nice chalky texture, and it doesn't mean that the layers below are going to show through, because this is when you're painting abstract artwork, you are working in many layers. I used to have this clipboard. I wonder if I could find it. One of the things that makes it more fun to me is just adding some color to the gesso. Now I'm just adding colors that I like. You can turn your little canvas around. The other thing you can use is like a little water spritzer, and it helps to create an interesting effect. Great way to blend if you want to create a blend effect. I seem to like the bold colors. So someone was asking how I make the background for a lot of my paintings, and this is how I do it. And sometimes I'll blend things and sometimes I won't. I'm really just going with how it makes me feel and colors that I like. And sometimes you can wait for your paint to dry before you add more. but I'm thinking I want to add a little white to blend it, and I'm really enjoying this very large paintbrush. What does it say on it? It says round 12. I buy paintbrushes and I don't take that stuff off. So now I'm adding a little white. This is just a little white gesso. And I'm just kind of seeing what happens. But I think I want white. But the gesso is a thinner consistency than acrylic paint. And I really like the globby texture. Well, I like the texture of gesso because it's a nice chalky feel. I like different textures and different shines. So right now I'm playing with colors, but I know I'm going to, I definitely want, I like this, so I want some white on there. I think I'm going to create just some dark lines here for no reason other than this is what I want to do. Now I'm tipping this over again. Now I'm gonna go in and see if there's anything I see in here that I want to pull out. Like, it's abstract, but maybe I want to do some kind of drawing, and I see like a face here. So I'm just taking my red grease pen or grease marker. And is it going to be a head? I don't know. I'll just leave it for now. I actually... Now, this painting is going to evolve because I see a person and I have a horse here. And I don't know why, but that's what I want. So now I'm going to map this in a little bit. The horse, just a little bit. Not a whole lot. And I'm just using like one of these little spongy things. Just want to sort of get his head in a bit. And I'll worry about the details later, but for now, this is what he's looking like. Nothing like a squeak. This is the finished first half of the painting. I love all the marks underneath and all the different colors. It's going to evolve as I continue on painting it. This is just the first phase. I love how I have the horses face in and the figures face in. I'd love to hear if you gave this a try, not necessarily the horse and the person, but the abstract tips and painting tips that I gave you. So let me know how it's going for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy painting.